Hi, today on Real Reviews I'm going to be diving into David Holmes' The Boy Who Lived, which is a new documentary from HBO Sky, which is out on HBO I believe today, if not yesterday, and will be coming to Sky in the coming weeks. It delves into the backstory behind the accident which befell Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double during the Harry Potter franchise, or more specifically during Harry Potter the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It is executive produced by Radcliffe, and it is shot and generally conceived by Dan Hartley, the documentarian. So let's get into it and see what we can find out. So what becomes immediately apparent about David Holmes, The Boy Who Lived, is that the guy at the centre of this documentary is just like the most inspiring individual you're ever going to see. Yes, he does have down days. I mean, the guy is paralysed from the waist down, but he doesn't see it as an impediment to things he can do. And ultimately, 10 years after the fact, with the aid of, shall we say, talking ahead interviews with key people, amongst them Greg Powell, who is sort of he's a stuntman legend who first brought David into the business in the shall we say ill-fated Lost in Space adaptation, which starred Matt LeBlanc way back when. And what you do also get is this sort of endearing connection, this bond between Daniel Radcliffe and his stunt double, who these guys essentially grew up on the set of Harry Potter and have this understanding of what it was like to be in that sort of maelstrom of creative activity, and ultimately what the Potter franchise means to somebody who isn't sort of from the outside looking in. And that is where this comes to life. I mean, there are other key players in this. There are other stuntmen who were sort of key at the time. There's Tolga Keenan, who went on to be in Skyfall and do the Bond stuff. There's Mark Matley, who took over from Holmes after the accident and completed the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So these guys are all in the mix. And this makes it just so much better, just 100% better in terms of what you get from it as an audience member. So let's move on. So as I said, more than anything, what you get is this intimate look behind the curtain in terms of what it means to have been in the centre of the Potter franchise. You get to see Daniel Radcliffe very much with his guard down, being, you know, just as he's been throughout his entire movie career, just this grounded guy who seems almost unfazed by the amount of Hollywood attention and by this whole sort of like media paparazzi interest. And that's the great thing, you know. And also you see, as I said, you see David Holmes treating him like anybody would treat a friend after 20 plus years of friendship. You know, there's a shorthand there. There's an over familiarity and sort of this grounded sort of, you know, I don't care who you are, it doesn't really matter to me. And it's almost selfless sort of support from afar, because, you know, with one thing and another, this injury, you know, it has changed him completely. You know, it's changed his body, you know, and it's degrading in terms of, you know, his muscle movement is diminishing, and so it's sort of, the documentary is almost a now or never sort of scenario, which gives it an additional element of poignancy. So on that note, I'm going to move on to the rating. Let's do that. So I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 on the big old 5 scale, for the reason that I've just outlined over the last 4 or 5 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, whatever it's been. And I can't recommend this enough for Harry Potter fans, for Daniel Radcliffe fans, for just film fans in general. I think this is essential stuff. And you know, it is a serious subject, and it does deal with the aftermath of a very serious life-changing accident, but by no means is it sort of a dour and dismal affair. This is very optimistic, it's very upbeat, and it deserves the widest possible audience. So it's on HBO from the 17th, from today I believe, and it's also on Sky in the coming weeks. So go check it out, but more importantly, check out my trailer next. Right, so you lucky people have made it to the end of David Holmes, The Boy Who Lived. That's the video review for the HBO documentary, which is going to be out on Sky in the coming weeks. This is the bit where I'm going, if you like the video, then like the video and click that thumb. If you want to drop a comment in the comment box below, then feel free. And last but not least, if you want to subscribe, then you can do that. Just click on the button, then every Tuesday and every Saturday when I drop another one of these videos, which inevitably is going to happen, then you get a little notification and you can watch or listen to as much or as little as you want to and go about your day. In the meantime, check out the rest of the channel. Take care.